Hello, everyone, and welcome to Should You Bother for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I just got back to the movie, and I'm very happy to report that you should absolutely bother. I'm going to give it its score right away and give it an A right away. I think this movie was fantastic. I'm not sure if it lives up to the first one completely. I think I would still give the first one the edge, only because of Chadwick's performance. I think you do miss that in this movie. He was so perfect as T'Challa, and the high moments in Black Panther are higher than the ones in Wakanda Forever. But I would say overall, like throughout, I think Wakanda Forever is a more solid movie. I think that there is a lot of positive here, and they did way better with it than I thought they would. After losing someone like Chadwick so tragically, it's really hard to recover from that for a series, because he was the heart and soul of Black Panther, and the fact that they were able to give us something that was very moving and very good without him, what is fantastic, and I'm shocked at how well it turned out, and I'm very happy with how much they honored his legacy and his role as T'Challa, and just him as a person. To get into some of the big strengths of this movie, the biggest strength is Namor. Namor runs the movie the entire time. His actor plays him fantastically. His people are unique and very cool. His city is fantastic. It really feels like that we got a second Wakanda, and these people are completely different but kind of the same. It was very unique and it worked very well. I'm going to keep this spoiler free, so I'm not going to go too in depth with what happened, but Suri really came into her own, and I'm really happy she got her time to kind of grow, because I thought she was okay in the first one, but I wasn't in love with it. But this movie, she does much better. We see a lot of returning characters that all do a fantastic job. This movie, you can tell each actor was at 100%. They all wanted to make this fantastic, and I think honoring Chadwick was probably the reason why. There's a lot around him in this movie, and deservedly so. Yeah, pretty much every acting performance was great. It connects the MCU pretty well. You see a lot of people like Everett Ross. You see Val from Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Black Widow. So they're very much building things there. But just the movie's tone and the solidness of it throughout is what really, really stood out to me. There is a ton going on in this movie, probably too much for most movies, but this movie manages it well and keeps you locked in the whole time. I was very concerned at points that I was going to start getting bored or just waiting for something to happen. I didn't want it to get stale, but every time I started thinking, it just pulled me back in and changed directions. The movie does a very good job at managing the viewer and not having a lot of low points. Some of the things I think this movie could work on is just the high moments. There's a lot of moments that are leading up to something, and it feels like they kind of turn down. Like you're almost there. This movie was so close to being better than the first one. It doesn't quite reach the highs that the other one does. Future Ben here in editing. Just to clarify what I mean by highs, I don't mean necessarily action or the climax of the movies. I just mean like general moments. Like the first Black Panther had a lot of moments where you're just kind of like, this is so cool. This is amazing. It's like it's everything you want it to be. This movie has a lot of very cool moments that just get cooler and they almost get to the point they do in the first movie where you're just like, this is amazing. But like right when you're getting to this amazing point, it kind of levels off. Like there's so many cool and good moments. It just doesn't have the amazing like movie defining moments like the first one does. It's still very good. It's just not quite to the level of the first one when it comes just hitting these awe moments. There's just a ton of different stuff going on, so you couldn't spend enough time with each character. It is a Marvel movie. There are some stereotypical character arcs in this that definitely stood out and definitely took a little bit off the score. I think this movie was very close to being an S, but a couple of decisions that were made just weren't my favorite. There was a couple of decisions in this movie and a couple of things that happen that are very predictable, but they get away with it because of how they do it. They relate things back to the first movie. They use character moments that we know to kind of get away with some of these tropes. So it didn't bother me, but I definitely noticed them, if that makes sense. Another thing this movie kind of struggles with is just how many characters there are. They introduce some new people. They bring almost everyone back from the first Black Panther. And there's a lot of people and sometimes it gets lost whose story it is. Like it definitely feels like it's Neymar's, and sometimes it feels like it's Shuri's, but you get a lot of jumping around, which it didn't kill the movie or hurt it badly, but it kind of like it was breakneck at sometimes. How many times we were just trying to keep track of this, that, and the other. It just feels like they tried to give everyone their moment, and it kind of took away from some of the other big character moments. But honestly, those are my only real complaints about this movie. I just think it was a couple little things and spots, and just the absence of Chadwick from being better than the first one. It's not fair that the movie is getting downgraded in a way because Chadwick's not there. It's not their fault. No one could predict that. But just his absence, you could feel it on screen. There's some really great moments in this movie, some really good feel moments, and you should definitely go watch this. This is a great, great movie. It's on par, if it's pretty close to the first one. I'm not going to say it's better because I don't think it is at the end of the day, but it's very close and it's a very worthy successor to the first one. So if you go to see Black Panther Wakanda Forever, be sure to leave a comment and tell me what you thought. Do you think it's better than the first one? Do you think it's slightly below? What did you think? Did you think Neymar is absolutely one of the best parts of this movie, as I did? Be sure to let me know. I have plenty more Marvel movies coming, plenty of reviews. I'm going to rank all the MCU movies, so subscribe for more. Thank you.